Every year we hear the same story. Old graphics cards are no longer worth it. You need to buy the newest generation. And if your GPU does not have ray tracing, DLSS, frame generation, and all the latest features, then you are already behind. But the reality is a little different. For a lot of gamers, especially people playing at 1080p, the goal is not to own the newest graphics card on the market. The goal is simple: good FPS, decent temperatures, reasonable power consumption, and a price that does not destroy your budget. And that's exactly why in 2026 some older graphics cards are still surprisingly good. We are talking about GPUs that launched 5, 7, or even 10 years ago. Cards that on the paper may look outdated, but in real gaming they still can run modern games, they can still deliver good 1080p experience, and in some cases they can even handle 1440p with the right settings. If you are building a budget gaming PC, the graphics card is probably the most important choice you will make. Pick the wrong one and you might end up paying too much for a weak graphics card that only looks new because of the name. Pick the right one and you can get a very decent gaming experience without spending a fortune. So in this video we are looking at 6 budget graphics cards that are still worth buying in 2026. We are not talking about the newest GPUs, we are not talking about high-end flagship cards, we are talking about cards that still deliver solid performance for the money and can be smart choices on the used market. Let's get started. The first graphics card on the list is the NVIDIA GTX 1660 Super. At first glance, the 1660 Super looks like a card that should have disappeared from the conversation by now because it was launched back in 2019. It does not have real ray tracing, it does not support DLSS, it does not have frame generation, and this does not come with the modern features NVIDIA is pushing today. And yet, in 2026, the GTX 1660 Super is still one of the most balanced choices for the budget gaming. The reason is simple. This card was built extremely well for 1080p. It has 6 GB of VRAM, it does not consume too much power, it usually runs fairly cool, and it still delivers stable performance in many popular games. In games like GTA 6 Enhanced, Warzone, Fortnite, Cyberpunk, and other modern titles with optimized settings, the GTX 1660 Super can still provide a smooth 1080p experience. Of course, you should not expect ultra settings in every new game. This is not what this card is for. But if you are willing to adjust shadows, textures, volumetric effects, and other heavy settings, this GPU still holds up surprisingly well. What makes the GTX 1660 Super special is not that it dominates benchmarks. It does not. Its strength, its balance. It is fast enough for casual gaming. It's good enough for competitive games, it's efficient enough for modest power supplies, and it's still very fairly easy to find on the used market. In general, if you can find one at a good price, the GTX 1660 Super can be a safe choice for someone who wants a cheap and simple gaming PC. But you also need to understand its limits. There is no DLSS, there is no ray tracing, there is no frame generation, and the 6 GB of VRAM are starting to become limiting in some modern games. That means that the GTX 1660 Super is not exactly a future-proof GPU. But for 1080p gaming with realistic settings, it is still a very decent option. It is the kind of graphics card that does not try to impress you with the modern features, it simply does the job. And in the budget market, sometimes that is exactly what matters most. The second graphics card on the list is the AMD Radeon RX 6600. If there is one GPU that has become almost legendary in the budget segment, it's probably the RX 6600. When it launched, the RX 6600 was seen as a mid-range 1080p gaming card. But over time, as prices dropped, it became one of the best options for gamers who want a good performance without spending too much money. In 2026, the RX 6600 is still extremely relevant. Why? Because it offers very good 1080p performance, low power consumption, and modern drive support from AMD. It is the kind of graphics card that may not look spectacular on paper, but in real-world gaming it performs extremely well. In games like Cyberpunk, Spider-Man Remastered, Forza Horizon 5, Hogwarts Legacy, and Call of Duty Warzone, the RX 6600 can run high settings and often stay very above comfortable 60 FPS mark. The biggest advantage of this card is efficiency. Compared to the older GPUs that may be stronger on paper, the RX 6600 uses less power, produces less heat, and is usually much quieter. That matters a lot in a budget PC, where you may not have the best case, the best airflow, or the most powerful power supply. You also get support for FSR, AMD upscaling technology. It is not the same as DLSS, but in many games it can help a lot with increasing FPS, especially when you want to keep decent image quality without lowering every setting. Still, the RX 6600 is not perfect. Ray tracing performance is weak. If you turn on ray tracing in heavy games, performance drops quickly. So the RX 6600 should mainly be seen as a classic rasterization gaming card, not as a GPU for next generation video effects. But honestly, for most budget gamers, that is not a huge problem. If your goal is simple, 1080p, good FPS, lower power consumption, and a fair price, the RX 6600 is one of the hardest budget graphics cards to beat in 2026. It is modern, efficient, and still very capable. If I had to choose one graphics card for a balanced budget gaming PC, the RX 6600 would probably be one of my first picks. The third graphics card on the list is the NVIDIA RTX 3060 with 12 GB of VRAM. The RTX 3060 is one of those GPUs that aged better than many people expected. When it first launched, not everyone was impressed. Some gamers said it was not a big enough jump over cards like RTX 2060 Super or the GTX 1080 Ti. Others criticized it for its price to performance ratio, but time changed its reputation. And this is where NVIDIA's ecosystem becomes a major advantage. You get DLSS, you get NVNC for streaming and recording, you get better ray tracing than many AMD cards in the same price range, and you get stable drivers with strong support in many games. For a content creator or someone who wants to stream, the RTX 3060 can be more attractive than other cards that may offer better raw FPS but do not have the same feature package. That being said, we need to be clear. The RTX 3060 is not always the best choice for pure FPS per dollar. In some games, cards like RX 5700 XT or RX 6700 XT can deliver stronger rasterized performance. But the RTX 3060 wins through balance, VRAM, modern features, and usefulness for both gaming and content creation. If you can find one at a good price, the RTX 3060 12 GB is still a very solid graphic card in 2026, especially for someone who wants a complete experience, not just the highest possible FPS. It is not a GPU that impresses through extreme raw power, but it makes up for that with stability, memory, and useful features. The fourth graphics card on the list is the NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti. If there is one graphics card that truly became legendary, it is the GTX 1080 Ti. Launched in 2017, the GTX 1080 Ti was one of the most impressive GPUs of the Pascal generation. At the time, it was a true high-end graphics card built for serious gaming, high resolutions, and top-tier performance. And the interesting part is that in 2026, the GTX 1080 Ti is still no joke. Even though it is almost a decade old, this card can still deliver very strong performance in classic gaming, especially at 1080p and even 4040p in many titles. In games like Red Dead Redemption 2, Forza Horizon 5, GTA 5, Resident Evil 4, Warzone, and Cyberpunk with optimized settings, the GTX 1080 Ti can still deliver very respectable FPS. The main reason is simple. It was extremely powerful for its time. It has 11 GB of VRAM and that helps it a lot in modern games. In a time when many 8 GB cards are starting to struggle with textures and higher settings, the GTX 1080 Ti still has enough memory to stay relevant. But we need to be very careful here. The 1080 Ti, it is powerful, but it's not modern. There is no DLSS, there is no hardware ray tracing, there is no frame generation, and it does not have the same modern optimization as RTX cards. There is also another important factor, power consumption and age. The 1080 Ti uses more power than newer cards like RX 6600 or RTX 3060. Some models can run hot, and many used units have already seen years of heavy use. That means you need to check temperatures, fan noise, physical condition, and the card's history very carefully. If you find one at a price too close to an RTX 3060 or RX 6700 XT or other newer card, then it might not be the best choice anymore. But if you find one at the right price, the 1080 Ti can still be an excellent graphics card for someone who wants raw performance without paying for modern features. It is the kind of GPU that does not win because of new technology, it wins because of brute force. And that's exactly why in 2026 the 1080 Ti still deserves to be mentioned. The fifth graphics card on the list is the AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT. The 5700 XT is one of the most interesting cards on the used market. It launched in 2019 and at the time was AMD's answer to cards like RTX 2070. It was fast, competitive, and very good for 1440p gaming. And the surprising part is that in 2026, it still has a lot of power left. In raw performance, this card can beat many newer but weaker GPUs. For 1080p, it is very strong, and in some games, it can even handle 1440p with adjusted settings. Its main advantage is the rasterized performance. In other words, in classic gaming without ray tracing, the 5700 XT still delivers a lot of FPS for the money. It has 8 GB of VRAM, which in 2026 is basically the comfortable minimum for many modern games. It is not as generous as the 3060 with 12 GB or 1080 Ti, but it's still enough for many 1080p gaming scenarios. But there are also important downsides. It uses more power than the 6600. Some models can run quite hot, and when it launched, the 5700 XT had a pretty rough reputation because of driver issues. The good news is that many of those driver problems were fixed over time. Still, when buying a used 5700 XT, you need to pay attention to the model, temperatures, noise levels, and usage history. If the card was used heavily for mining, or if it spent years inside a poorly ventilated system, it can be risky. But if you find a good unit, the 5700 XT can be one of the best used graphics card in terms of performance for the price. It is a card for people who want raw FPS and are not obsessed with ray tracing or modern NVIDIA features. It is not the most efficient GPU, it is not the newest, but it can still deliver serious performance. And at the right price, that makes it very interesting. The sixth and final graphics card on the list is the NVIDIA GTX 1070. This is probably the most surprising card in the video. The 1070 launched back in 2016. That means now it's 10 years old. And in the world of technology, 10 years is a very long time. And yet, the 1070 can still be used for 1080p gaming. It is not a modern graphics card. It does not have DLSS, ray tracing, frame generation, modern efficiency, or the same level of driver optimization as new models. But if you can find one extremely cheap, it can still be a decent option for a very low budget gaming PC. In games like GTA 5, Fortnite, esports titles, and even Cyberpunk with optimized settings, the 1070 can still deliver a playable experience. The reason the 1070 still survived is simple. Back in its day, it was a very powerful card. It had excellent performance for 1080p and even 1440p, and that strong hardware foundation still helps it today. But we need to be realistic. The GTX 1070 only makes sense if the price is very low. If the price difference between a GTX 1070 and something like an RX 6600 or GTX 1660 Super is small, you are usually better off buying the newer card. The 1070 makes sense for someone who finds a very good deal, maybe inside a complete used PC, or for someone who mainly plays lighter games and does not need the newest features. It is not a feature-proof graphics card anymore, but it can still be useful, and that is what makes it interesting. So, which one of these graphics card is the most worth buying in 2026? If you want the safest budget choice for 1080p gaming, the RX 6600 is probably the best option. It is efficient, modern, cool, and very good for gaming. If you want NVIDIA features like DLSS, NVNC, and 12 GB of VRAM, the RTX 3060 with 12 GB is the most complete choice, especially if you also record, stream, or edit videos. If you want a legendary graphics card with a lot of VRAM and very strong raw performance, the 1080 Ti can still be interesting, but only if the price is right and the card is in good condition. If you want raw FPS for a low price and you do not mind high power consumption, the RX 5700 XT can be one of the best used market choices. If you want something simple, balanced, and cheap, the GTX 1660 Super, it is still a decent option. And if your budget is extremely low, the 1070 can still give you a 1080p gaming, but only if you find it very cheap. In 2026, not everyone needs the newest graphics card. For many gamers, the goal is not 4K, ray tracing, or ultra settings. The goal is simple: run games well at 1080p without spending a fortune. And this 6 graphics card can prove that the used market can still hide some very good deals. But there is one important rule: always check the price, the condition of the card, the temperatures, and its usage history. A good graphics card on paper can become a bad purchase if it was abused or used heavily for mining or sold for too much money. So do not buy only based on the name. Compare prices, check recent benchmarks, and choose the right card for the games you actually play. Because sometimes the smartest choice is not the newest graphics card, it is the graphics card that still does the job well. If you found this video useful, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments what graphics card are you using in 2026. I'm really curious how many of those models are still inside your gaming PC. See you in the next video.